Hi, I'm Nichols, founder of the Foresight Academy and the new FUTURIST, and today I want to start by asking if you've ever felt like the future is coming so fast that sometimes it feels like the opportunities and the possibilities for your life they're not presenting themselves as often as they once did. Or maybe you've become so overwhelmed by the nonstop bombardment of news and information that you wouldn't even recognize those possibilities and opportunities if they were right in front of you. Well, if that sounds familiar, I can tell you that you're not alone in that. I mean, I've struggled with that and still do at times, and I'm a futurist. See, so many people today are experiencing this, and it's causing greater anxiety and stress and poor decision making because they're worn out and they've surrendered to a common misconception that the future is something that will happen to them and there's nothing that they can do about it. But the reality is, our ability to shape the future, well, that's immense. You see, whether you realize it or not, you are creating the future every second of every day. Now, the decisions you make, the actions you take, well, those are all leading to the next opportunity, the next possibility, the next breakthrough for you or for your organization. But the key to recognizing and seizing those opportunities, those possibilities, and that next breakthrough requires that we do the following three things. Number one, we must be conscious of where we are at this moment in history. You see, we have more access to information, tools for creating and distributing content, and platforms for connecting with people from different parts of the world. And while all of that is amazing, there is still the responsibility that we have to use that information, those tools, and those platforms to contribute something meaningful and worthwhile to each other. And not just so we can be better off today, but more importantly, so that we are creating a future where our children and our grandchildren can thrive and build on a solid foundation that we have left behind. And that leads us to number two. We must be aware of the dominant narratives and stories that are guiding and shaping our future today. Now, in the Foresight Academy, I've had the privilege of tackling this topic with my students, and it's amazing to see the profound breakthroughs that happen when we stop and question long-held beliefs and ideas that may no longer be in our collective best interest. So one student actually shared that this idea of dominant narratives comes in different shapes and sizes, pointing out, for example, that in his line of work, there is a dominant consulting narrative. And challenging that has actually opened a whole new realm of possibilities for how and why his value is distinct. And that brings us to number three. We must recognize that we have a choice when it comes to creating the kind of future that we want to see. And that choice is whether we will sit idly by and let someone else create the future for us, or whether we will engage our skills, innate talents, and our spheres of influence to rewrite the story of our future. Now, regardless of what you think about their actions or their message, the students who've organized the March for Our Lives movement are doing just that. See, after 17 of their peers were gunned down at Parkland, Florida High School, well, they decided that enough was enough. So they decided to engage their skills, their innate talents, and their sphere of influence to rewrite the story of their future. So I share this with you today to encourage you and to remind you that you have the power to create the kind of future that you want to see. Don't let the dominant narratives in our society today, which, by the way, are designed to maintain the status quo, well, don't let those keep you from engaging with each other and challenging yourself to dream bigger, to go farther, and to make your impact on the world. And if that sounds too fluffy or woo-woo, well, just stop for a second and ask yourself how we got to where we are today. Now, one last thing before I sign off. If this video was of value to you and you think it could bring value to somebody else, well, I would absolutely love it if you share this on social media, or even if you just send it to one other person who could benefit from the message here today. And of course, if you have thoughts or questions, well, please join the conversation and leave a comment down below, or reach out to me directly at jared@thenewfuturist.com.